Hello, welcome lovely humans of Earth, XFM, Friday, Series 1, Episode 20. I have been informed multiple times how many episodes there are in Season 1, but I can't remember. I think it's 23, 26-ish, something like that, but whatever. I don't think that's important because it doesn't really matter because it's not like one of those shows where next season, that's not so. Yeah, anyway, April 13th, 2002. April 13th is my father's birthday, so that was a little while ago. I like how I'm just kind of like right there with them. I feel like it adds nothing, but I still like it. Anyway, Rusty Dog, thank you once again for this. It's just, it's awesome, and I really appreciate it, so you're awesome. Also, where are the men? I imagine they'll pop up at some point. Anyway, let's do this, shall we?
New order and here to stay on XFM 104.9. Well, we're here to stay, aren't we, Steve?
True enough.
Well, for another 4 weeks anyway. Then we're off. Then 4 more shows. They'll have to order a new DJ. All right,
that was genius.
Hey?
Oh wow, it's
Ricky,
as simple as that.
I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Mitchell, and Karl Pilkington.
Oh man.
Did anyone read the Guardian yesterday? It was Steve's big... we were interviewed together.
I've never been interviewed before in the paper. I've certainly never had my photo in a national
We were very
paper
excited. We loved the interview. It was talking about our top 10 albums between us. We loved it. We talked really fast, like school kids. We were excited. It was a great interview, and all the way through, it was Ricky Gervais with his writing partner, Steve Mitchell.
Stephen Mitchell. It's not even like Merchant.
He phoned me up the night before and he was gutted, and I know it's awful. And it was big letters and just all the way through in the caption, and it's just like, oh, God.
But it's embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? It's embarrassing because it's like I was trying to get in the paper. I couldn't believe my luck. And then that just draws attention to the fact that I'm not a celebrity and consequently they can't even remember my name.
But the worst thing was that one of my favourite albums of all time, I said in there, was Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. And I said because, you know, I think one of the most beautiful songs ever is If You See Her, Say Hello. And of course these people were sort of transcribing it from, you know, a dictaphone. It came out, my favourite song of all time was If You See a Sailor.
If you see a sailor. Oh, hello.
It came out, my favourite song of all time was If You See a Sailor.
If you see a sailor. Oh, hello.
Fruity. That was real.
Bob Drillboyd.
Ricky's was real.
Fruity.
Oh, Bob Drillboyd's. Up on the trab with... Where's the sailor gone to? With Ricky Gervais and Steve Mitchellings. Oh.
I don't know. They must have thought my name was Mitchell all along. They obviously never knew.
The evidence is there.
But I don't know why. It was like they reported in the paper that we'd been nominated for a Sony, and it said, Ricky Gervais, who hosts the breakfast show on XFM, and it's that sort of, it's just guessing. It's like, presumably someone's gone, does he host the breakfast show? And someone's gone, yeah. And that's their research done.
Yeah, but there was a thing about, The Office set in Swindon. That's someone going, just write an article about The Office. Where's it set? Swindon, I think. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even we research the show now and again, don't we?
Yeah.
Even we look things up. Well, actually, people phone in. Usually that fella. What's that fella's name that calls in who's not got the website? He's got a funny name.
Oh.
Gilbo or something.
James.
Phone in if you remember what his name is.
Yeah.
James at Lose Control.
Yeah, what's his surname, though?
Oh, for goodness sake, this is just going to be interesting to him.
Yeah.
And his friends.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You remember?
We better play another record.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. If
Johnny
you like
Mango.
Mango, that's it, yeah. Now, if you like Elvis Costello's Alison, or maybe Freeze, My Brother Jake.
One of my favourites.
Stay tuned. Badly Drawn Boy, Silent Sigh.
Cracking tune, mate.
Like, I know I've had some weird intros, right, in my videos and stuff, but that was all just, wow. Loving the energy level, though. It's up there, but, wow.
XFM 104.9. Maybe there'll be a few silent sighs around London on the 4th of May when, that's it, we're off the air for 3 months.
Yeah. Wow, you're really getting into the DJ patter today.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's
only taken, what is it, 5 years?
Yeah.
Now you're finally as good as Foxy.
Coming up,
yes.
that anecdote that Karl didn't get to last week about Neil Armstrong.
Oh, right.
I can't wait. It's because he took 3 links telling us about the horse.
Yes, of course.
The horse. Think of that.
Wow.
I went out with Karl on Thursday night.
Awesome.
Right.
Right. It was one of the...
Wait, it was the little cliffhanger. It was a Neil Armstrong thing? I thought it was something else. Oh well.
Most enjoyable nights. I was one out with Karl on Thursday night.
Okay.
Right. It was one of the most enjoyable nights. We just went out for about 5 or 6 pints, a little crawl, and adventures happened around Karl.
Yeah.
And just me sitting talking to him was just incredible. I'm thinking that a competition would be win a pint with Karl.
Yes.
Just
That would be a
they
hell of a
just
gift.
have to go for a pint and they can ask him anything they want.
Yeah.
He's just
That is
he's just
amazing.
great. We met my friend, didn't we? Tell him all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? What?
Did you enjoy it as much as Ricky, Karl?
Clearly not.
Yeah, there was things I learned as well, which was good.
Okay.
You know his mate Robin, don't you?
Yeah. You'll discuss that later.
I'll tell you later about.
He's got all his near-death experiences to come. Win a pint, and of course coming up, Karl's homework was the quotes, and Karl's come up with a great idea to show that anyone can do quotes. He's invented a thing like faking it, where he's got 2 real quotes,
Right.
and he's made one up.
Okay.
And he's going to fool us.
Okay. People living in those houses. Oh, brilliant. I remember that. That was amazing.
I bet we won't be able to.
Brilliant. Sorry, what was the challenge last
Look at him looking at us. What's the matter with you?
It's just that before you were like, no, this is good for you, but
What?
now it's turning into a game.
At your expense?
Yeah.
Has it only just dawned on you?
Carl,
He's
well, I'm
self-aware.
joking. It's great, honestly. It's really good.
What was the Karl challenge last week? You said I thought we did the quotes last week.
No, but I gave him a book on
Happiness.
happiness. It's all about happiness
Right.
and what the pursuit of happiness, and it's in sort of like quote form and everything. But Karl's gonna do a couple of ones and faking it just to show. I mean, because he's been coming up with fables all week as well. Now he comes up with something, he goes, "That's a fable, isn't it?" And he tells me so he's getting good. Now,
To it all. If you play another track, what have you got? You got something
I
special?
brought in. I saw Elvis Costello and Jonathan Ross a couple of weeks ago, and he did just an acoustic version of Allison, and I forgot what an amazing song it is. And it's just he's fantastic. He's the man. Listen to this guitar sound. It's so beautiful.
Fair enough.
My aim is true. To provide quality entertainment of a Saturday. That was
classy.
Elvis Costello and his
You know
attraction.
what? I've been hearing so much of Stephen Merchant's just laughs and giggles to kind of fill in silences and stuff. I'm genuinely. I don't think I said that right, but whatever. That's just gonna linger there. That word. I can't properly remember what his actual laugh is like. And I'm starting to wonder, have I ever heard him with a genuine, proper chuckle or laugh or just anything? All the sounds that come to mind they just sound so fake. But I'm trying to recall a proper laugh, and I don't think I can.
Actions and Allison on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Steve Mitchell here and Karl Pilkington.
Oh,
Isn't it's going all right. It's going all right. I obviously been doing some acting, as you know. I mentioned it last week, doing this this sort of comedy pilot. This week, Karl, you're going to be loving this. I've been doing stunts. I swear to God, I've been doing my own stunts with the guy that once made Christopher Reeve fly as Superman, right? And I was doing stunts. I had to do a thing where my character has to commit suicide. Don't think we didn't bring that up. Were you anywhere near that horse? No? Fine, let's carry on. And, my character has to commit suicide, and he has to sort of, leap off a building. So the first shot...
that's for something for comedy.
Well, we were up on a roof, and obviously they had the crash mats and stuff, and I had to kind of leap off and land on the mats and stuff. And obviously I was petrified the whole time because I was wearing my glasses. Petrified that they might get broken. So I was like not really doing it properly and kind of leaping like what you know people when they can't dive into a swimming pool, and so they put that one foot out first to sort of break their fall.
Was it you that told me that you could never get into fights?
No, I can never get into fights or go in a mosh pit because of my glasses. I've missed out in...
How expensive are glasses? That's crazy. Wow.
life because I can't. Because if I was in a fight and I say, "Come on, then you are," you know, and I was in a pub or something, they just have to whiff off my glasses, just knock them off. I'm done for. I got nothing.
Really bad short-sighted,
Fair point.
Yeah, but anything's an advantage in a fight, isn't it? And the fact that they're just a blur is bound to hamper my otherwise brilliant, ninja
Wait, I
skill
wanna see that,
advantage
I'm
in a
sorry.
fight, isn't
What is that picture? Why is he there? Okay. Sure.
it? And the fact that they're just a blur is bound to hamper my otherwise brilliant, ninja skills. So yeah, I've never got into a fight. I've never been in a fight at all. I've never, as I say, been in the mosh pit.
on the wire.
So this was making me sort of a bit worried. And anyway, so then I think, well, fine, I've done my stunt. And I did it, and everyone clapped. They were pleased with it, and the guy said I was very good. So then they drive us to the next location, right? I'm thinking, I've done my stunts now. There's a crane. I think, what's going on here? Now they need to shoot me. Like, I've already done the stunt where I've sort of leapt off the building. Now they've got to actually see me falling, right? So I have to get strapped in with this huge belt, and they clip wires onto me, and they hoist me about 30, 40 foot into the air on this wire, and and then they drop me at great speed, and I have to scream and shout. It was partly acting.
That sounds awesome.
And,
Glasses on?
Glasses, by this time I'd managed to get some wire fixed to my glasses so they wouldn't come off my head. I assured
They were stunt glasses.
They were
They were doing their own
sunglasses.
stunts.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So they hoist me into there on this thing. They do a couple of sort of demo versions, and just gradually ease me up higher and higher so I kind of become acclimatised to it. And, they get me about 30 feet up, and they got these huge crash mats, like those great big ones you always see kind of stunt people have. And they set up the camera and stuff down below, and while I'm up in the air dangling there, they removed those crash mats, and they replaced them with those really thin ones that you always see, like, teenage gymnasts using on Blue Peter. Do you know what I mean? The really thin ones they used to have at school, right? And I'm looking down at this, and I'm thinking, now, they may as well have shouted up, if you fall, you're done for, but we might be able to protect the equipment. Do you know what I mean? It was so rubbish.
But you weren't going to land on the floor, presumably.
Well, the idea was that the wire would stop that.
Oh, I see, but there was no that was their safety.
That was the safety net.
Why did they not leave the real ones in?
Because they had to, I don't know, for the shot and stuff, they had to be able to do it. But anyway, what was particularly joyful is one of the other actors pointed this out, right? This is the, this is the health and safety statement from the stunt guys, right? And they obviously have to write up this health and safety statement about how they do it. And it says, we confirm that we have proper safety policies, procedures to comply with the Health and Safety Act 1974, and that we will not do anything which compromises the health, safety and welfare of your production crew, actors or members of the public. If the above situation changes, we'll advise you immediately. I mean, if they think that maybe they do want to hurt members of the public, look at that fat one over there, just try and hit her and bring him down.
Don't worry about that one. Don't worry. She can take it. She can take it.
But, so that reassured me, obviously, and, now my whole body's racked with pain. Limbs, arms, head, neck. Unbelievable.
Well,
is the shot worth having? I mean,
probably not.
You wish you
Do
had...
you know what the cameraman whispered to me? The
Wait,
cameraman
is
whispered to
all
me,
that
probably
for the show? He said it didn't even air? Oh, that's gotta suck. Oh no. That would be that'd be annoying. That sucks.
Use it.
Yeah, Steve, you'll wish you hadn't told that wimpy tale when you hear just three random tales of near-death experiences that Karl told me.
Right.
Coming up.
Right.
I mean, honestly.
Really?
At least you had stunt people and crash mats.
Yeah.
you got paid.
Yeah. The things that he got...
I'm sorry, give me 1 second because this is extremely loud for me. Not for you guys, but for me it's extremely loud, so it's bothering me. There we go.
Just through stupidity.
Well,
will put you to... What? What one of them wasn't through stupidity?
cakes.
I'm already excited.
Yeah, what?
The cake one?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Sorry, you had a near-death experience involving a cake?
Hold on, I've got three. I've got the paper round, I've got three.
I want that cake for my next birthday, except chocolate, because I don't know what is that flavor? It's not vanilla, and it's not. It's like it's cardboard flavor. But I'm gonna want to save that. That is adorable. Thank you for the idea.
Hey, I've got
Also, what?
the cake one.
Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
Which one's that?
Sorry, you had a near-death experience involving a cake?
Hold on, I've got three. I've got the paper round, the nicking slate, and the Mr. Freeze. What's the cake one?
Yeah, I suppose. The cream cake.
Oh, Yeah.
Right,
Play
now
a
you're
record.
talking in riddles.
Play
Can
a
you have these next?
Cooper Temple Claws. Who needs enemies? Good question, lads. Nobody. This is XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Oh, they should print a little book of those. They're great. Oh, how you can relate any song or artist to anything else.
Easy.
Joyful.
Easy. Well, yeah, so, me and Karl went out, for a beer, and it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, enjoyed myself.
We started
yeah,
off,
good.
and you met my mate, Robin, didn't you?
Yeah.
And, some of the stories. Do you want to tell Steve some things about
Wait,
Robin?
but I thought we were gonna get the cake near-death experience.
Robin, do you know him well?
Yes.
Well, do you know about his worm problem as a kid?
Go on.
Right.
Please.
What I can remember is he had worms as a kid. Not sure how you get him. He never answered me. He was getting a bit touchy about it.
Right.
This is like the second time I met him. I think he was a bit annoyed that Ricky told me about his problem.
What
Yes.
now? Now straight away, you not being there, instinctively, what do you think went on with this story about worms?
My suspicion
Yeah.
is rather like when you told a group of people that Robin had once suckled milk from a cow's udder.
Yeah.
He told me that.
Yeah, did he mention that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. My suspicion is that, like the cow story, the worm story is not true.
But
And
why,
Robin-
why would he get so sort of uppity about it?
Well,
Because it's not true.
imagine if that wasn't the first time he'd done it. Imagine if he did that every single time he was with somebody for the first time and Robin was just met them. He will tell that story to anyone.
But they do say there's no smoke without fire.
Oh, Robin! I also told him.
That's a fable.
I also told him that the way Robin cured these
Not-
worms.
that's a
I told
quote,
him
that's a
that the
fable.
way Robin cured these worms
Yep.
was because the doctor told his mother, right, to hold a piece of ham or cheese near Robin's anus, so the worms would come out for the food, and he believed it.
I'll tell you why, though.
I said to Robin used to sit on spam to try and get the worms out, and he believed it.
But Steve, right, do you remember that
Okay,
story?
I know
he
what spam
believed-
is. I've seen it, like, in movies and stuff and shows. But what is it, like, extremely, like, they put ham in a blender and then they put it in a can with, like, gelatin and make that? What is it? Why is that a thing? Is it good? Is it edible? Is the AM ham and what's the SP? Wait, I gotta hold on. Curiosity's gonna kill me with this. What the hell is spam? Because I've seen it. I imagine what it smells like, what it tastes like, probably, but why? Hold on. Well, that was confusing. I googled what is spam. Spam is any unsolicited communication sent in bulk. That's not what I meant. Processed canned pork and ham. Okay, see, it is what I thought, but why? Okay, what is spam short for? That's it's gonna be this stupid specially processed American meat. I thought it was like salt, pepper, and ham, so it's spam. But okay. Others believe it is, I can't read that, for spiced ham, portmanteau, or whatever, I don't know. And others say it stands for shoulder of pork and ham. See, that one makes a little bit more sense, but why? Why not just eat ham? I imagine it's like a lot cheaper, but I don't know.
But Steve, right, do you remember that story about 3 or 4 years ago where there was some bloke in the army? He went away to somewhere, Vietnam or whatever. He was messing about in the woods.
Messing about in the woods?
Shouldn't he have been fighting?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right, and he walked through some lake, and I think he'd cut his toe or something on something, and some worm.
All of it. He doesn't. This is how I tell stories. He doesn't know anything about this story. Why is he telling it? Why do I do the same thing? Jesus.
Some sort crawled in the gash.
Yeah.
And it was in his body, and the doctor said, we've got to get this out of your body. So what they did was, they said, right, the thinnest part or something of your body that things can crawl through is on the top of your head. So they wrapped
where the skull is.
So they wrapped some bacon.
What?
No, they didn't.
They did.
It looked like he said that.
They didn't.
They did. Because that's
All
that
right.
thing. Everyone...
So he's gone in by the toe. So what we do is, I'll tell you what, that worm's probably heading straight for the head. We'll put a bit of bacon on it. The thinnest part of the body is the skull. Of course it's not the thinnest part of the body. It's where your brain case is, isn't it? It's the skull.
Wait. What? Okay, I'm wow. QR code and everything. Apparently, soldier Lee Miller did have his head wrapped in bacon by doctors in Sheffield, England. I don't know if I said that right. In the hope that the worm would come out for a bite to eat, the bacon was ordered from the hospital canteen. I'm inclined, just maybe not right now. But I love it. I love that Karl... Thank you for this, by the way. This is such an interesting way to do that. I love that. Also, I'm going to scan it just to leave it open for later. But I love how Karl is spitting facts. And they're being themselves. And it's just... There's truth behind it. The problem is the way he tells stuff. So sometimes, somewhere, at some point, I think that maybe some guy... perhapsly walked through a lake, and then I think he, like, dude, no! Nobody's gonna believe you that way.
There was a reason for it, and it was like they stuck some bacon on his head. And
as ever, the vital piece of information, i.e. the reason, Karl seems to have forgotten.
Because the worm was in his body, and they said everyone likes to smell of bacon.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Oh,
yeah, including
even a worm. Even a Vietnamese lake worm. They love
Remember
bacon.
Remember last week when I said about the little fella with the bone with no brain, and you were proved wrong?
No.
Please.
No. We were saying it wasn't a little fella. We were saying it was a stillborn child. It wasn't a little fella.
You're changing it now. You weren't having any of it last week.
Right, hang on a minute. I'm getting confused. There was a Vietnamese... There was a Vietnamese snake that went inside of a soldier.
A little, like, maggot or some sort that you have to get out of your body because it causes problems.
Yes, and so in order to get it out of the body, they strapped bacon to his head.
Yeah.
That is great. This doctor...
And did that work?
I think so. They had a picture of him smiling.
Oh, God, what, the worm or the bloke?
The bloke.
Oh, dear.
Honestly, I hope someone knows the story.
Right.
I hope
it was
so,
about
too.
3 years ago, I reckon.
Okay.
And,
That was awesome.
it did work.
GI bacon.
So this is why
The work of some of your images is just so good. So freaking good. I love it. That was adorable.
So what the worm burrowed out of his head to get the bacon?
Get to the bacon.
Right. That's great.
So this is why when Robin was telling his story, I was a little bit disappointed if it wasn't true.
Right.
Because in a way...
You know Robin's never been to Vietnam.
No, but what do you really think that Robin... Well, as Robin said at the time, Karl, why would I sit on ham, then tell Ricky Gervais? It's a very good point.
Because if he was a kid, you do daft things like that as a kid.
Right.
He is the telling Ricky Gervais.
That is exactly... Okay, yeah, maybe the problem is that he's Ricky Gervais. But, I was watching The In-Betweeners the other day, and I was wondering that exact same question. Why are these kids telling each other the things they tell each other? The stories that we just witnessed that no one should ever have to know about. And then they just go and tell their friends. It's crazy, but people do tell, apparently, their friends... crazy, embarrassing things for some odd reason. But yeah, okay. The problem is if Ricky Gervais is your friend. All right, I'm with you on that.
It's a very good point.
Because if he was a kid, you do daft things like that as a kid.
Right.
He is the telling Ricky Gervais, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
Bless him. Okay. And then anyway, Robin left, and I tried to chase him, but he got away. And he knows yeah. And then we had a few pints, and then Karl embarked on some of the greatest stories ever told. Can you tell the story about your dad?
Let me run it. I haven't spoke to him all week, so let me run it by him.
Okay, play record.
Because
What we got?
We've got one of Steve's
Yeah, well,
tunes.
bizarrely enough, this comes from the Teachers 2 soundtrack, the soundtrack to the current TV series. There's a slight whiff of nepotism in the air.
Yeah.
Rick, would you like to explain why?
Well, that's why you're doing it. Though my girlfriend worked on it. But
Yeah.
you were going to play this anyway, weren't you?
Well, I was actually. Bizarrely enough, I was going to play some I Am Clute, and this is from, as I say, the Teachers soundtrack. And this is called To You. It's a good track. I Am Clute, and a track called To You from the Teachers soundtrack. It's also got, I noticed the Electric Soft Parade, the Hives, Star Sailor, Feeder, Turin Breaks, Mercury Rev on there. It's a good little collection.
Lovely. Karl has just had confirmation. He's looking smug because someone phoned up and went, "It is true. It's a Laogai chi worm, and you wrap bacon around your head." That's all the bloke knew as well.
Yeah.
And his name was Gary.
Yeah.
So
What
I'm
more is there to know? Why would anyone need to know more? That is more than plenty.
not having it.
No.
It's Gary.
Yeah.
So I'm not having it.
No.
And he said, see, that's why the Robin thing isn't so weird. He said, but when you said he tried it with cheese, he said I was having none of it. Strokes, hard to explain. Like Karl, really.
Yes. Yes.
So, Karl, concentrate.
Yeah, go on.
So, we'll leave the worm with the bacon wrapped round the head, shall we?
Well, if you're ever caught in the jungle,
Yeah. Always carry
bacon.
some...
bit of Danish.
Good advice. Lovely. So, would you
was
like to
good.
start on your... to Steve, because I've heard all these.
Well, we won't do them all.
Well, we'll start off with the Mr. Freeze. Tell Steve the story of Mr. Freeze. This is the first time he nearly died.
This is the most serious of the lot, really. So, what it was, do you know, like, I don't know if your mum and dad did the same thing, but...
Probably
like,
not.
They do the weekly shopping on like, a Friday.
Yeah.
So when you got to Thursday, there wouldn't be much stuff left in the cupboard. It'd just be like, you know, your Jacob's crackers and stuff like that. So when they'd been to the supermarket and they came back...
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting something normal. That's fine, yeah, everybody probably has, like, a shopping day, but he said his parents, and my mind just kind of wandered, but alright, my bad, I apologize, sir.
back, I was like, you know, what's that saying? Like a pig in... You know, I loved it. It was like loads of food coming in, loads of biscuits.
He nearly said...
What is that saying?
He nearly said pig and shit.
Right.
Is that the saying?
Yeah.
It's happy,
Right.
really?
So yeah, all this food comes in.
Thank God he did.
That's just like the vulgar version of a kid in a candy store? Alright. Can't we just have a pig in a candy store? But I guess it works, sure.
Didn't.
So yeah, all this food comes in.
Thank
It's
God he
like-
didn't.
Otherwise he'd have been in trouble.
That's true enough.
Because he's culpable for our actions, because
Exactly.
he's the producer. So technically,
Oh.
that twat's in charge. Go on.
Right, so anyway, so there's loads of food, and I'm like, oh yeah, look at this, and chocolate biscuits, and, you know, penguins and stuff.
Bacon.
So, and bacon.
Just in case, you never know.
So anyway, my mum and dad's putting the food away. Me and our kid are like, he's already grabbed something, gone back upstairs.
It's like feral children. it's like a quest for fire. And then they run upstairs. What did you sit under the bed, gnawing at some sort of pig's trotter?
So I saw, do you remember Mr. Freeze Pops?
I do, yes. Well, they're kind of like popsicles, icicles.
Yeah, but really long, like a foot long, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll have one of them, so I grabbed it.
Went for the nutritious stuff first.
Absolutely.
And like my mum and dad are putting the stuff away and what have you. And I rip it open and knock it back, right? Straight away, just right back like
Swallow
that.
it straight
right
away,
down
yeah.
Oh.
But it went down the wrong way, right? So I
What,
was
down
like,
your shirt?
So I was like, oh god, I can't breathe. And my mum and dad didn't even know what I'd ate. Do you know what I mean? I ate it so quick.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of tapping my mum on the back, going. She's going, oh god, you know, he's choking again, because I was always choking. If there was one thing, I don't know if I've got like a small throat, but I mean, even Ricky knows I can't drink that much, can I?
Yeah.
Do you know,
Or eat pebbles.
I'm not a quick drinker. I'd always, I think I'm scared of like swallowing
Dying?
stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like bottle tops and mint imperials and stuff. I was always choking on stuff.
Oh, jeez.
So anyway, she's going, oh god, what's he picked up on it now?
Wait, see what I mean? See what I mean? People share embarrassing stuff. That's not so... Like, if that was part of... Well, yeah, I'd share it too. Luckily, it's not. But see, that's my point. Even me sitting here, I've shared some things I probably shouldn't have. Just look how embarrassing they are. But see? Exactly. And he's saying it to Ricky Gervais. So, I mean, it just... Stuff happens, all right?
Always choking on stuff.
Oh, jeez. pig.
So anyway, she's going, oh, God, what's he picked up on it now?
Drop it! And
So-
she hit his nose with a stick.
So I was going, I'm choking. At this point, my dad had, like, I think he'd put his share away, you know, his food away, and he'd gone
His share! I love it!
Yeah.
he'd gone to watch, like, Winner Takes All or whatever in a lounge. And I was in the kitchen, and I was starting to, like, I didn't care anymore, do you know what I mean? I just got to that point where I wasn't struggling anymore.
You just thought, I'm done
I just
for.
was, like, falling to the ground. And my mum's going, you know, get in here, I think it's serious. And my dad comes in and sort of starts shouting at me, saying that's what you get for being greedy. He didn't even know what I'd eaten.
Well, it was the moment to teach you a lesson, certainly.
So he's there like that, and my mum's going, oh, look at him, and my lips were going purple.
Yeah.
And my eyes were rolling into the back of my head.
You look like Marilyn Manson.
And, so anyway, she grabbed me from behind and did that fireman thing.
The Heimlich manoeuvre.
Yeah. And, you know, winded me, and it came up, and I was alright.
What, the whole popsicle came flying back out?
You see, that's what I don't understand. Because there was nothing there.
No, just a little bit. No, it swells up, doesn't it? Because it irritated it. So it went down this sort of like your epiglottis. It went down the wrong way, like it went into your air canal instead of your throat, and it sort of spasms, and that's the fear. You just got to calm it down and relax.
So in time, I would have been alright.
Yeah,
anyway.
you don't.
Well, no,
yeah.
you might have.
So that's so that's
hang on.
one.
So, but
No, but the weird thing is, like, for, like, 3 days after that, I felt like a sort of, special person. I went to school.
I'm saying nothing.
I did full days.
a special needs person.
Yeah.
I went to school the next 3 days after that. I didn't, like, wag it or anything. I did full days.
I love that. 3 days, turn over a leaf.
Yeah, exactly.
did.
After 3 days, you thought, screw it.
Yeah,
Well,
did a quick history exam.
But have you ever had that, where you've, like, felt like, I've been given another chance here?
Right, next one.
weird.
That's popsicle. That's popsicle hell.
Next one. What, the same thing happened with cake? Like, what? Oh, my God, man. So much to say. So much to say. First of all, I've seen it. Luckily, not personally, but I've seen it and I've heard it and I've read it multiple times that choking, proper choking, somebody choking is it's silent. Like, you have to pick up on it, and you have to pick up on it quick and do the Heimlich. Like, it should be an immediate reaction to see someone choking, going to help and do the Heimlich and stuff. I mean, first saying that's what you get for being greedy is just all kinds of messed up, right? But proper choking is silent, because when you can cough and make sounds and, you know, just kind of mainly coughing, it's because there is a little bit of air going through. So not that it's not as serious, it's just easier to notice. But proper actual dying choking is silent. Another thing, I almost died once. I don't know if I told this story or not before, but you know what? You're gonna get it again if I have. When I was a wee little baby, we used to live, I have two brothers, right? Two older brothers. We used to live in a house that had a pool in the backyard. And one day, my brothers had a friend over, and we were all just chilling in the pool, right? And my mom, while my brothers were playing in the pool, she was chilling in the pool with baby Mandy, sitting on, like, the ledge of the pool. So I was outside, like, I guess feet in or whatever, just, like, but I was there, right? She was with me, you know, being a mom. And my brothers started fighting with their friend, I don't know, over a water gun or whatever, typical little boy thing. And she turned around for a second to say, knock it off, you know, just stop being little twats. Whatever you want to say, just knock it off. And when she turned back, I was gone. And when she looked around for me, I was at the bottom of the pool. Dad jumped in, fished me out, literally. And, yeah, I wasn't breathing. So my mom, but, you know, there's much you can do with a baby or a toddler. I mean, they're so tiny and fragile and stuff. Apparently what they did do was my mom's, like, first instinct reaction was to grab me by my feet and ankles and like put me upside down to see if I would bleh the water. And I did bleh the water and I lived, and here I am, right? So that must have been horrifying for her. That must have sucked for everybody. And then I learned how to swim. My dad decided, you know what? We're going to teach her how to swim just in case. And I freaking love water now. So at least it didn't, I was like too young for it to traumatize me. I obviously don't remember anything, but yes. That's probably the time I was closest to death. Ta-da!
Oh, we'll call that.
I had more to say, honestly, but I don't even remember anymore.
Popsicle. That's popsicle hell, we'll call that. Right, next one.
Which one's the next one?
Oh, what about your paper round?
Right.
Can I ask very quickly, did your life flash before your eyes like they say it did?
No, I just sort of went really calm and like, I'm ready for this now.
Right.
I wasn't bothered, do you know what I mean?
You had no regrets?
No. It was weird.
Aren't we talking about like maybe, did he say how old? Well, an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old? Like, how much life can pass before your eyes? And how many regrets can an 8-year-old have?
Really weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, the paper round one.
Okay.
Paper round, I'd still say it's the best job I've ever had.
Fair enough.
And he means it!
No, I really enjoyed it. It's like, you know, you don't have to work with anyone else, right? So you make your own rules.
Just think of that.
You know,
What's his excuse?
rules with anyone else, right? No, I really enjoyed it. It's like, you know, you don't have to work with anyone else, right?
Okay.
So you make your own rules.
Just think of that.
Okay.
You know,
I get it. Yeah, okay.
You sort of
You're
around,
spreading information to people. Vital information.
giving a service, and no one else is around. You know, you can just do what you want and think about stuff whilst you're cycling around on your bike. It's really good.
Yeah.
So anyway,
imagine the stuff he's thinking about when he's riding around his bike.
So getting in the head of a salamander.
So anyway, I loved it, and even though I only got like 50p a day, right? No matter what the weather was like and stuff, I used to get up at 4:30 and go and do the round. And
why'd you get up at 4:30?
Because I wanted to watch the Pink Panther at 5:30, so I wanted to get me paper round done.
I said, why didn't you watch the Pink Panther?
And then do the paper.
He went, I can't sit there thinking I've got my paper round to do.
He'll ruin it for him.
Yeah. So is it a good job or not?
So 4:30 I was up and about, and this morning it was like winter, really bad winter, bad snow, you know, freezing cold, really windy and all that. And my mum said to me before I went to bed, she said, don't be getting up tomorrow, I'll give you the 50p. I said, it's not about the 50p. So, you know, people want the papers and stuff. So,
conscientious.
So anyway, I went to bed thinking, you know, that's it. I've told her I'm still going, so, you know, whatever. Go to sleep, get up in the morning, and put all my kit on. And I used to have layers of...
I'm sorry, but... I love it. The first thing that came to mind when he said whatever is Cartman. Whatever I want. Yes, that was the worst impersonation of Cartman ever, but what do you expect? I mean, hello. I can't do accents. I can't do anything. But I know you know exactly what I mean. Oh, man. Karl, as a child, must have been so freaking feisty. Just wonderful.
Oh, you know, whatever. Go to sleep, get up in the morning, and put all my kit on. And I used to have layers of clothing on because it was really cold. They had like a big anorak on with the fur on. I had like waterproof pants, and I got my paper round bag.
Cocoa pants?
And I went downstairs to get out and tried to open the door and it was locked. I thought, oh, God. So she'd locked it so I couldn't go out. So I'm searching around the house looking for the keys. She must have hid them somewhere. I thought, oh, God, you know, I've got the papers to do. So I thought, how can I get out? So I went upstairs, climbed out of the bathroom window.
God.
Right, and to try and jump out of the bathroom window onto the porch. But the problem was, I had so much gear on, I was like the Michelin Man. So I could hardly move as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get out the window, and I'm like, trying to stretch down like that, get my foot on the porch. And my bag got caught on, like, the hook of, do you know, like how you have a hook so you can put the window open?
Right, yeah,
like a little arm goes on. My bag had got caught on that. I was holding on to the wall and my foot on the thing, so I couldn't sort of pull it away in case I pulled it away and then fell on my head.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck there.
Dangling.
My dad comes back from working nights.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm a burglar.
Gets out his gun.
So So he's shouting and stuff, going mad and going...
They laugh, but if it was somewhere else, that happens a little too often.
Dad, it's me. And he had to give us a hand using a... Going, Dad, it's me. And he had to give us a hand using a...
He's heard that wily trick in Manchester before.
He had to help me using a washing prop thing. A big stick.
What did he do?
Well, he said, just hold on for your dear life, and I'll sort of push the paper bag off the hook.
Why didn't he go upstairs and sort it out?
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Thank you, Stephen Mitchell.
It was at that point where I was in the middle. There was nothing you could do. Do you know what I mean? It's at that point where you've just got to make a decision.
Yeah.
And by the time you got upstairs, who knows what might have happened?
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to act there and then, no messing around.
Yeah.
So
and you could hear downstairs, now here he is, the Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Dad!
Hurry up!
He a Panther? Ever so pink! Oh.
So that was close to death, because I must have been about 30 foot in the air.
Yeah.
And I would have, you know, that would have been nasty if I fell to the concrete paving, so...
Well,
And,
just more...
Honestly, unless he, like, hit his head, I don't see him dying from that. I'm sorry. Obviously, I could be wrong, but I feel like that'd be more broken bones than actual dying. It all depends on how you land. Now, if you land in a roll... sorry.
There's more to come. Should we play a record and come back to this? Because he's got more.
Oh, yeah, no, there must be one of them where you did fall on your head. This is the one I'm waiting for. There's got to be one. That would explain so much.
Yeah.
I nearly did. Nearly broke me back.
Jeez.
Once. My dad said, I bet I can't kick me out. I said, I bet I can. And,
I don't remember this. You didn't tell me this one.
No, but I can't what?
I was in the garden.
I love how it started with the 3 he told Ricky, and then he just keeps adding on and adding on and adding on. Oh man, I feel like there should be a series of comic books of the adventures of young Karl Pilkington or something. I'd so read those.
Summer's day, and it was that era when, like, doing kung fu and all that was really popular.
Sure.
And I was, like, messing about in the garden, punching the tree and stuff. And my dad said...
What a kid he must have been.
My dad said, I bet you can't kick your height.
Kick your height? What,
yeah.
you mean kick as high as yourself?
Yeah, so I must have been, like, 5 foot or something then. And I said, of course I can.
Yourself.
So I bet you can't. But instead of doing it on the grass, I did it on, like, the concrete bit. Kicked it, actually did it. I went, there you go. But didn't, like, get my foot down quick enough and land on
you
my back.
paused to say, there, I've done it.
Yeah.
As opposed to putting your foot back on the ground.
And landed on my back, and I'd still get back trouble now.
Do you?
Because they say that, don't they?
So, to cut a long story short, he gave me about 4 or 5 near-death experiences, and he went, and the whole point of this, he went, so that's why I think I'm going to die of something horrible, like cancer. And I went, why? He went, right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
He said, well, I don't check my balls. Wait. He said, I don't like the feel.
Karl, always check your balls.
Do you
I
check
don't
yours?
like the feel. Why don't you like the feel of your own balls?
They just... I mean, you know that I don't like bodies anyway.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It worries me a bit that you've got all that going on in your body, right? And your skin's keeping it all in place.
Right. Stop. We're going
He makes the human body sound like a freaking horror show. God.
down a whole other avenue of discussion. Let's play a track, let's come back to it.
Oh, right, I've brought in this, this is, free, you'll know, from the Jeans commercials.
Yeah,
and
All Right Now
long
and
time
everything,
ago,
yeah.
All Right Now, yeah. But this is a great little track. This is, My Brother Jack. Stereophonics, Vegas 2 times, XFM 104.9, into the last hour.
Yeah.
And then 3 shows to go.
That's true enough.
Until we're off the air. I'm Ricky Gervais.
With him, Steve Merchant.
Karl.
Oh, yeah.
Alright?
Yeah.
Let's go on, tell you, we cut short last week, weren't we? You had an amazing story about Neil Armstrong, didn't you?
Well, we've been doing quotes, haven't we? Like famous quotes.
Sure.
That have, gone down in history.
Yeah.
And I was saying, quotes don't really matter. It's more the situation that you're in than the quote itself.
Go on.
So, like Neil Armstrong, if he'd have said,
tie bacon round your head.
I'm as happy as a pig in dust.
Yeah, that would have still gone down in history as, like, being the thing that Neil Armstrong said, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
Space is driven in mental, probably would have been the,
but he chose to say something profound and meaningful, to
was-
befit the situation Well, he got it wrong, actually. It's, a small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, but he was meant to say...
Yeah, we discussed this last week, Rick. Stop showing off.
Well, no, but people might not have listened last week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I can't imagine
well,
people
we better tell him every week, then.
Yeah, but he said, he should have said, this is one small step for a man.
Yeah.
But anyway, he had a good effort, and that's quite...
And that's an example of what I'm saying. The fact that he got it wrong, but it still went down in history.
Right.
But anyway, the bit that... and it didn't happen anyway, did it?
What do you mean it didn't happen anyway?
That's what a lot of people say. That no one's actually been on the moon.
Okay.
Ah, yes, of course.
They filmed it in Teddington Studios.
Well, they were saying something about there was shadow on the film, and you wouldn't get shadow on the film, and there's all sorts of things.
There's people that you always quote...
There's all sorts of shadow on the film.
Do I know who that is? Ronnie comes to mind, one of the Ronnies, but without the glasses, it's hard to tell. That's funny. Okay. Is that a Ronnie?
And there's all sorts of things.
These people that you always quote as they...
Who are they?
Are they living in jars? Are they little fellas in jars?
Look,
Go on.
You know...
Do they appear to you in dreams?
I've spoke to different people about it, and there's loads of little things that if you watch that programme, of them being on the moon, there is no way they could have done it.
Right.
Done.
Fine. Yeah.
Done.
Anyway.
That's put to bed.
Yeah.
But
Good.
anyway, as he was getting back in the spaceship on the moon, or whether it be a TV studio,
Yep.
he said, good luck, Mr. Croucher.
Right.
Have you
Of
heard
course.
this?
Yep.
No.
And the reason...
Is
Have you
said.
heard this?
No.
And the reason he said that...
The
Have you heard
breathing, I'm
this?
just so...
Right.
Have you heard this?
No.
And the reason he said that was because when he was a young kid, and he was... I think it was Croucher, but when he was playing as a young kid in his garden, he was playing baseball with his mate, and he chucked the ball to his mate, and his mate hit the ball, and the ball went over the fence to the next-door neighbour. Right, so he goes, right, I'll just nip over and get the ball. And as he was getting the ball, the window was open to his neighbour's house, and he heard, like, the woman shouting at her husband, saying, I'm not going to be giving you, a bit rude, so if you've got a kid in the car or whatever, turn it down. What, yeah, that's covered that, yeah. Right,
Genius.
I'm not, no matter how many times you ask me, I'm not going to be giving you oral sex. The day I do that, man would have walked on the moon. Right?
Yeah.
He grows up, he gets on the moon, and he remembers all that story, and as he gets back in the spaceship, he says, good luck, Mr. Croucher.
Now, do you know, we'll have to say, I've heard that story before, but when I heard it, the woman said... Story before, but when I heard it, the woman said, the day I give you a blowjob is the day the boy next door walks on the moon. Which makes it all the more profane.
Impossible.
And enjoyable. Yeah, and unlikely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've heard the same story, Carl.
Yeah.
Look how pleased he is.
I love that.
Right, so not only have you remembered that anecdote, which may or may not be true, but of course you've also proven
The
that...
day I give you a blowjob, that kid in the garden's probably going to walk on the moon and say something about giant leaps.
Exactly.
But, yeah, you must have heard the thing that it never actually happened.
Yes, we've all heard
Yeah.
it. We've all dismissed it as nonsense.
And moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And got on with our lives.
Right, Carl.
What?
Should we do White Van Man?
Well, you didn't prepare me for that. We better play a track and then I'll I'll fish out the newspaper and stuff.
This is a good little
that.
a little bootleg track here from Meats and Poultry here. They've mixed A with Outcast.
Right.
Chorus is great.
Is it highly illegal?
It is.
So people shouldn't rush to their tape machines now and press play
Okay,
and
so
record.
whatever you do, don't record this now if you're recording it. Hold on, don't say anything. Well, that bootleg's going under the name of Nothing Miss Jackson, I think, by Meats and Poultry. So there you go.
I do love the...
So we're just skipping over the other near-death stories. These were amazing. Why are we not circling back to those? I was super into them, but all right, you guys do the show however you see fit. Whatevs.
These bootleg things, because they're so pointless, but they're so enjoyable.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's fun to do.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
Really good fun.
great. But not as much fun as White Van, Carl.
White Van Karl, absolutely. Do you want to explain the premise?
Well, we take the Sun asks someone else and asked Carl. It's as simple as that.
That's
The
that.
Sun have just taken a normal person. We flipped it. We're going to ask Carl the same questions about the week's news.
Yeah, just basically your opinions, Carl, as ever. What do you make of, well, obviously the big news, David Beckham's broken foot? Is this a big concern for you?
Ouch.
No, I mean, it's sad, you know, it's sadder for him more than anyone, because, you know, to like, be in the World Cup is, like, the main thing for him, innit?
Yeah.
But he's still a young lad, and I don't think he'll give up. I reckon he'll still turn up. He'll be alright. And, yeah, good luck to the lad. You know I like David, I'm not going to slag him off.
Wise words.
Yeah. He says that like he knows him. Like he's popping round for drinks later.
Yeah, like we tried to stitch you up. Go on.
But, obviously yesterday, was it yesterday? I think maybe Thursday, the Sun printed a big picture of, David's, foot and encouraged everyone to touch it at midday, because hoping that this would somehow, if we all thought and prayed together, somehow that would help his foot heal. Do you believe in that?
No.
You
Did they
believe in
really
that?
No,
do
you're
that?
going
That's-
Foot
I don't know what the little emoji in the middle means. But, that is odd for a newspaper to do. Okay.
heal. Do you believe in that?
No.
Any belief in that?
No, you're going down the old, like, Yora Geller route, aren't you?
Sure.
I know, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I mean, it's nice effort and everything. It sort of cheers everyone up.
Hold on, you believe in ghosts and warlocks
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
licking toads. Why is that any more stupid than all those
And
things?
there's a toad that has an agenda to kill like 1,000 people or something.
It's not going to work, is it?
All right,
Fine.
It's rubbish.
Fair.
okay.
Okay, what about this then? There's apparently now available £1.5 million apartments available on an exclusive ship which sails around the world.
Yeah, it's like
What do you make of that?
it's a huge thing, and you live on it, and it's. I mean, in theory,
How big is it?
it's
Massive. Jesus. It's still a thing? Dude, I get seasick. That's crazy that people do that. That is definitely interesting. That's crazy. All right. Thank you for the info. That's
and it's. I mean, in theory,
How
Okay.
big is it?
it's mental.
Do you know
it's
when-
like
Huge
a
luxury
town
liner.
centre.
Do you know how,
Because-
like, people said that the Titanic was the biggest ship? Was that only then? They've got
Yes.
bigger ones now, haven't they?
Yeah,
A lot bigger.
oil tankers are much bigger, and yeah.
No, but actual
Well-
ones
Liners
that
are big.
people-
Yeah. It was the biggest then. Yeah.
Because my mum told me that there was one that was that big that it had, like, rough areas on it.
Don't go starboard.
Oh God!
No, but do you know what I mean? It was like
we're thinking of moving. We're seeing
Yeah.
the captain. We're thinking of moving to a nicer area.
hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I've heard they're very rough in aft.
Oh God! Oh, that's
They steal your
fantastic.
tyres.
A ship so big that was rough areas. Oh.
How big is this one that you're talking about?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't give me the specifications here, but
They're
it's
huge.
huge.
They're huge. In theory, I mean, it's that thing with it's obviously marketing, but they're gonna solve the overpopulation crisis, where soon we'll all just be floating around the sea.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I can see that, because, I mean, think about it, right? I've been talking to Ricky about it.
Sure.
I was hoping to buy somewhere in London, but there is no way in this world that I can afford it, right? And you look at all
London
the...
it's extremely famous for being like crazy expensive, right? Like New York, but okay, I don't know about London, but New York is crazy expensive. But so overrated, like not worth it. I don't get it. I don't know if London is so expensive because it's actually awesome. I know I can already tell I'm going to get a lot of comments saying London sucks. But like I never understood why in New York people pay the rent they pay for like a closet just because they're in New York City. It's crazy to me. I don't know. It's like a place that's extremely famous for people being really rude and just awful, and there's a lot of crazy people on the subway, and just like, what? Why? I mean, it's not even living in freaking paradise. It's a city full of assholes. I don't get it. So is London like that kind of situation, or is it expensive for another reason, or why do people... Because New York, a lot of people want to live there because they want to be famous on Broadway and act and dance and theater and all that. Like that, for some reason, that's kind of where that happens. What happens in London, I guess, is my question. Other than apparently getting snapped. I know that's not the case. I've learned, okay? But it's just like everybody, even the shows I've been watching have been talking about that. But okay, so that's a genuine question there.
All the wasted space, like with the Thames, all it's doing is like, we can afford it, right? And you look at all the wasted space, like with the Thames, all it's doing is like collecting crisp packets and stuff and Coke cans, and people have to clean it up. Whereas if you got a load of boats on there, problem solved.
Yeah. Would you live on a boat?
Problem solved.
What's his name did it, didn't he? What's that programme? Is it Bergerac?
Noah.
Oh,
Bergerac?
There was one where he lived on a boat. I think it's quite...
That was Shoestring.
Yeah, I'd give it a go anyway.
Noah.
I'd like to see you living in the air, maybe
wow,
in a
Ricky
giant
was
hot air balloon.
fast.
I'd like to see you living in the air, maybe in a giant hot air balloon.
Yeah, all right. But no, the boat thing, because it is going to get bad as well, isn't it? They're saying that the water's melting or whatever.
The water's melting.
The ice is melting.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more
ice.
water and less land. So in the future, it's probably going to be the way we're going to be living, isn't it?
Have you seen that film Waterworld?
Nah, I don't fancy it.
Because that sort of predicts that, yeah.
What, are they saying that the ice thing is going to melt?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. If you get, I think I read that like a big chunk of ice fell off one of the ice, what do you call them?
Caps.
Ice caps. Something like, I think they said it's the size of the Empire State Building or something.
Right.
It snapped off and went into the water, and it's melted. And they say, oh, it's bad news, you know, that something that size is melting. But the way I look at it, if something that size falls into the water, it's like a big ice cube, and it's gonna freeze it up again. You with me?
Not really, Carl.
Go on.
Right, you get a giant ice cube, the size of the Empire State Building, stick it in the water, it's gonna make, it's gonna stick back on again, isn't it?
The water.
Well, no, only if
again.
it freezes up again.
Yeah, well, it will freeze up. The water's going to get cold again because you've just put a giant ice cube in the water.
So when you put an ice cube in a drink, the drink doesn't freeze, does it?
No,
the
because
ice
it's not.
melts.
If you put one the size of an Empire State Building in your glass of Jack Daniels, it's going to make it freezing.
It's not going in a glass of Jack Daniels, it's going in the ocean.
I know, but you see, I'm using my fables. Imagine a world. Imagine the world, imagine the sea, like the Arctic or whatever, as a glass of Jack Daniels.
Okay.
A big ice cube falls into it.
Yeah.
It freezes, it melts back on again. So we're alright, I don't know why everyone's worrying.
God,
thank God for that, I was getting panicked.
Oh, fine.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that will.
You're right. Oh, how do people not love him? That was so adorably innocent and stupid of him. See, it's hard to defend him all the time because then he says stuff like that. Right? Like earlier he had some good points. The bacon story was true. There were things he was spitting facts. He was making a mess of them, but they were still facts. And then and I love that when he says the stupidest things, it's usually when he thinks he's being the most clever. That just, it warms my heart.
Happen.
Should we play some more music and then come back to White
Yeah,
Carl?
this is better than ever.
This is dynamite this week.
This week is dynamite.
9 in there on XFM 104.9. We're doing White Van Karl. Got another one there?
Well, it's just your thoughts really on the Queen Mum's very British send-off that she was given this week.
Yeah.
What do you make of all those people queuing up to see her? Did you think that was incredible?
Right. Well, we said last week, you know, there was I don't quite understand why there was so many people there who were like getting really upset. Do you know what I mean? Really upset, crying and stuff. And you know, you can lose someone who's like related to you, and you don't cry like that. You sort of sit there and you think back to what you did with them and stuff, and then that's it. But the queue thing, wasn't it like miles long and stuff?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
Right. I was sat watching this with Susan.
12 hours queuing.
Yeah.
It never got to 12 hours.
It did, but that was the estimated time.
Now,
but how long is a queue when they're just like, you know, walking along? Think how far you can sort of like stagger in 12 hours.
Incredible.
It's been ridiculous. God.
Yeah. But, again, if they want to do that, it's their time and that, isn't it? And it was at the weekend, so they could have... It's not as if they got out of work to do it.
No.
You know what I mean? They used their own time, so good on them. But I thought, right, what they could have done... Remember when I studied Shay Gavara?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? And don't be offended by this, it was just an idea, because they did it with Shay Gavara. Remember when they cut him up?
Yes, they cut him up, yeah.
What was the reason for cutting him up?
Well, they cut up Che in order to try and, you told us that they were going to send bits of his body to Fidel Castro and various other people, wasn't that right?
As a warning, wasn't it, though, to all the people, like, one to...
Yeah, my understanding was that they cut him up in order to, so they could bury him in different places, so that there'd be no shrine. There'd be not one place that you could go to in order to
Well,
sort of make him into a martyr.
A little bit like that. I've, like,
I can vaguely see where this is going.
6 queues, and it's like, number 1, you can, go and pay respect to her head, or whatever.
Oh, God.
No, but think, I just was thinking the way of speeding it up.
See what I mean? Again, he thinks he's being clever. And this is just, oh, wow. Horrendous. Jesus.
Having a go, I'm not, because they haven't done it, so it doesn't matter.
God.
But they did it with Shay Gavara.
Yeah.
Everybody would have felt like they've got close to her. And it would have speeded it up.
No, I mean, but I can understand.
Can I just say that genuinely, Karl is not being disrespectful here. This is his best idea to cut down the queues. So don't phone in. He's not suggesting we should have done this. He genuinely is. But I mean, he's not doing it to be nasty or wacky or he thinks this is a good idea. So
can I just throw a thought at
Shay Gavara, who was like a powerful man, he did a lot for the world and what have you.
Yeah.
And
are you aware that I feel slightly responsible for this, because have you heard of the quote, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Steve, next one?
No, just a very quick question. I can understand those that have queued for 12 hours to see the head. I'd be a little bit annoyed if I got there to find a toe.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what they could do without chopping her up. They could put about 9 queues, each could see each hip she had.
That's true enough.
Because she's had about 9 of them, so it'd just be, if you want to see the whole body, it's a 12-hour queue. If you just want to see a couple of the hips...
Here's another suggestion for you, I've just thought, right?
What?
Instead of everyone queuing to see her, why not put her on a trolley? And...
That's what I thought Karl was going with when he mentioned Che Guevara. I thought he was talking about putting her in a glass case and parading her past the queue. That's where I thought he managed to take it to a whole other surprising level. Okay. But initially I thought that was where that was going to go, which wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad. But okay.
Wheeler put on a trolley. And Wheeler passed everyone else.
Running. So
yeah, you could have some students on Rag Week, they can combine it. Like when they're always pushing a bed. They could just run it along the queue.
No, that'd be fantastic. That'd be disrespectful.
Right, as opposed to the chopping up. Sure.
Right.
Just an idea.
Just I apologise now if anyone's offended.
Anyone offended, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, finally, this is more froth. As opposed to the chopping up.
So.
Sure.
Right.
But just an idea.
Just I apologise now if anyone's offended.
Anyone offended, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, this is more frothy. Liz Hurley lying low, apparently, at Elton John's house to try and avoid the press now that she's had a child.
That's a good place to go to avoid the press.
Exactly.
Yeah, Elton John's house.
Everyone seems to be friends with Elton John, don't they? Every celebrity's friends with
Elton John. Elton John's house. What is he running some sort of...
But it was like when Robbie Williams was a drunkard and a drug addict, he went to Elton John's.
Yeah, and who's the other fella that went there as well? What's someone to recuperate and shoulder the crime? Is he giving out false passports?
But I don't know if people have seen his history. He's not the man of, I mean, I know he's cleaned himself up now, but, maybe that's it. Maybe he's got this kind of insight into how to deal with celebrity.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's just genuine mates with him. I think he's just like a friendly bloke.
Yeah.
She's been doing too much lying low in the first...
Even Eminem is friends with friggin' Elton John. I mean, clearly a friendly guy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's just genuine mates with him. I think he's just like a friendly bloke.
I think she's been doing too much lying low in the first place. That's part of the problem, isn't it?
High five, Karl.
That was a genuine joke from Karl there. And he's so proud of himself. Look at his little face.
Too much lying low.
Oh, that was
No,
my
but I
van,
agree
Carl.
with you. Why can't she just go around to her mum and dad's or something rather than Elton John where everyone's looking? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that was good, yeah.
Very good, yeah. Right, what music we got? We got,
Bit of Flaming Lips.
Flaming Lips, excellent. There's the classic Race for the Prize. Should have been a big hit, never was.
Alarmed me.
The Flaming Lips and Race for the Prize. Just playing that, Rick, for everyone who emails us saying. We get a lot of emails every week, but obviously don't really respond to them because we're very lazy people. But we obviously appreciate it. And I play that particularly for Claire, who's emailed in saying her friend Sarah Prosser would like some Beatles. We're not going to play the Beatles this week, but Sarah apparently loves us more than words can express.
More than Carl could express.
Absolutely.
I'm going to stop you there, Steve, because I want some adverts.
I love how he read the email just to say, yeah, we're not going to play what you wanted, but thanks.
Spread your love on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Mitchell. And now it's Carl's bit. It's the re-education of Karl. He's like Liza Doolittle. And now he's coming, or Lawnmower Man, if you've seen that film. More like Lawnmower Man, if you've seen the film. You'll know what I mean. And his homework was what I mean. Lawnmower Man, if you've seen the film. You'll know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. I haven't seen the film. I didn't know this exists. I didn't know there was a second one that existed. And what the hell is that? And why does he look like Professor X? What is... They talk about some weird movies here, don't they? Okay. I'm still a little more shocked than all of this that this is the poster for the second one. Wow. Okay.
And his homework was to just study quotes, really, on happiness and stuff and general well-being. He's not a big happiness quote fan, are you, Carl?
Not really.
So what have you done? You've come up with something, haven't you?
Right, yeah, I told you, right? Because a lot of these are just things you say every day, nothing special.
Alright.
So what I'm doing...
Well, you say them every day.
Well, the sort of things you come out with and you don't even think about it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're on the TV all the time, people on the radio are saying these sort of little quotes.
Sure.
And, what I've done is, remember that programme on Channel 4, Faking It?
Yeah.
Where they got some, like, posh kid to be on a door and all that? What I've done, I've,
Imagine if that was the pitch
Okay, that's
for the show.
interesting.
Dear Channel 4. Just gonna get a posh kid on a door or something?
Yeah,
Yours
come
sincerely,
in,
Carl.
come in. Yeah.
TV producer.
Yeah, yeah, go on.
So, what I've done, this little book of quotes, happiness quotes, I've picked two that are real,
Okay.
and I've made one up, right?
And we've got a guess.
And you've got to guess
Okay,
which
then,
one it is.
go on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick, why don't we, when we've heard them, we won't confer.
No.
You'll write down yours,
Yeah.
A, B, or C, and I'll
Yeah.
write down mine, and we'll
Sure.
see how it
Okay,
is.
Carl, off you go.
Right, and just because I'm looking at this book, it doesn't mean I'm actually reading.
No, I know,
Don't
no,
worry,
I know.
we're clever.
No,
you're
we know,
wily on
we
there.
can't see
Is
yet.
that like
Yeah.
call my bluff?
Yeah, go on then.
Nothing is worth more than this day.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah?
All right.
yeah.
The way I see it,
Oh God, my head's gonna burst.
now hang on.
My head's gonna burst.
No,
Hang
no,
on.
this might not be Carl's.
Oh my god. Now hang on. Oh man, I love this. This is amazing.
It might not be.
How do you know I haven't tweaked them a little bit?
Yeah, good
Okay,
point.
fair
Good
enough.
point. No, good point.
The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
All right, yeah.
Alright.
Right, nope. Yeah.
But I feel like tweaking them is cheating. Because that's not the actual quote, but sure.
Come on.
Cat food.
Cat food, go on.
It stinks a bit, but if you don't put up with the smell, the little kitten will die.
Steve! I don't know what to say! I don't know what to say. Imagine this in faking it. Imagine their faces when he says that and they're going, oh my God. Oh. Carl, play a song, mate.
We'll have to confer on this one.
Well, that's just amazing, Carl. Just read them again. Two were real, one was fake. Go on then.
Right.
Oh! He's all like fed up. He's like, alright. was beautiful. This is too good.
Oh, just read them again. Two were real, one was fake. Go on then.
Also, I'm sorry,
well,
but...
that's just amazing, Carl. Just read them again.
Hold on.
We'll have to confer on this one.
What's that song? Because it cuts out to another one. That just the da-da-da-da. What's that? I can't recall that, and it's going to be bothering me until I forget about it. So if anybody can help me with that, please, because I thought maybe they'd mention it. They did not. I want to know. Thank you. Please and thank you.
By Blair. Well, that's just amazing,
Did
Carl.
you just say it?
read them again.
Did.
That's just amazing,
Whatever.
Carl.
I'll
Just
figure
read
it
them
out.
again. Two were real, one was fake. Go on then.
Right. First one. Nothing is worth more than this day.
Excellent. Next one.
What does that mean?
Well, cherish now, cherish your time.
Okay.
Because you can't get it back, and you know
that's the way I saw it.
Carpe diem, whatever it is.
You know those guys that now it's extremely popular that everybody does it, but they just go around the street interviewing people for like views for TikToks and Instagram or whatever, and people have like a certain thing they will say or do, you know. Some just interview children to see the stupid things they say. Some will give them money. Some will go to couples and ask how did they meet. So others will go to couples and ask them, you know, can I get on with your girlfriend and see how the guy reacts? Like, there's a lot, right? But one thing that became extremely popular that I've seen several different people do it is to the effect of the nothing is worth more than this day, is that they will go to people and say, what if I give you like $10 million? You want it? Yes. All right, what if I told you can have the $10 million, but you won't wake up tomorrow? Do you want it? And everybody's like, no. And then they're like, okay, so that means to you tomorrow is worth more than $10 million. So every day you should wake up and know that this day is worth more to me and is more important than if I had, you know, if I would have taken that $10 million. So every day you should wake up and enjoy it and smile and blah, 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 and, you know, be amazing and all that. So little twist on that. But, and it's funny because the people that they interview and they do that, they, like, you can see their eyes light up and like, oh, wow, that's awesome. But anyway, yeah, that.
The day and all that.
Okay. If you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain.
Yeah, of course.
The way I see
rough
it.
with the smooth. You know, it's not all plain sailing, but, you know, rainbow's beautiful, but it comes because of the rain, which you might not like, so make the most of everything.
I freaking hate the rain, and it rained 6 days straight here. 6 days straight. Everybody's out of clothes. Nobody's able to watch. Everybody's just been going out in freaking pajamas and stuff because no clean clothes. Can't dry them. Can't nothing. It's been depressing and gray and wet and awful. Today was the first day in 6 days where the sun came out. Naturally, I went to the roof and I just freaking had my photosynthesis. But I mean, the time they were talking about the seasonal depression or whatever, I don't remember the proper letters, but geez, man, totally. I get it now. God, 6 days without seeing the sun is a long time. I don't know how people like in Alaska or wherever do it. Hell's no.
Yeah, good.
Good.
Cat food doesn't smell good, but if you don't put up with it, then the little kitten will die.
Right, no, Carl, that is a good effort. Now, that one's yours. I mean, obviously, right? Right, no, but it's a good effort, right?
I mean, it slipped seamlessly into the others.
Yeah.
I don't think it didn't.
No, but it's good. I mean, we knew it was that one, but what I will say is, it's good, but what you don't know, maybe subconsciously, is, I mean, it's very similar to the putting up with the rain and the rainbow, but that's good.
Why do you think that?
Well...
What does mine mean?
Well...
it's very literal.
Well, even though it smells bad, it's good for something.
Right,
So
see, I didn't look at it like that.
What did you look at?
I kind of thought...
Was yours more specifically about cat food, generally? Because, normally it's an analogy.
Yeah, or a metaphor for something, much bigger.
Well, no, the way I
mean, Dolly Parton, who I think did the rainbow rain thing, she wasn't specifically concerned about weather conditions.
No.
It was a sort of general idea.
It was all about life.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've done.
Go on.
I've used an everyday thing.
Yeah.
And put it with today's problems, right?
Go on.
So, my girlfriend...
I love how you can hear Ricky laughing.
My girlfriend, she might like to go shopping for clothes. I hate it.
Right.
But because I love her, I put up with it.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
How's that
you love
from
that
the
little
rainbow
curtain.
thing?
You can't stand the smell of the stuff you got to feed it. But because you love it, you go, well, I'll put up with this just for a few minutes, and then I can, squeeze its head later and give it a little...
Sorry. Can we go back?
Stroke its head and stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a bit of a slip, was it?
Squeeze its little head.
Yeah.
Well, that's just the thing that I do with cats.
Put it in a bag and drown it in a lake.
I can feed it and then I can throw it against the wall.
Exactly.
So you didn't see it like that, did you?
No, that's very good. So it's about love, is it? It's about putting up with the bad things for something you love.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
But Karl, you seem now to be convinced and rather smug that you've tricked us and that you've fooled us and that we didn't understand it. Well, but I say that's your fault, not ours.
No, it's not, though. I mean, look, that man in Forrest Gump, he was a bit of a nutter. And he came up with the life as a box of chocolates thing.
Yeah.
Now, if that was in this book, you say, oh, yeah, brilliant, good bit of work. But if he was sat here doing the show with you, you'd be taking the mickey out of him.
Sometimes I feel he is.
No, but, Karl, I could, in fact, if people are out there, we're too lazy, could you write down everything Karl's ever said? Because I think we could publish that.
Yeah.
He said one today, he saw my, salamander. It's not a euphemism. He saw my salamander and it's just sitting there in the tank.
Your exotic pet.
Yeah, and...
I freaking love... Thank you. Adorable of you. But I freaking love just most... I say most reptiles because alligators and crocodiles, I don't have a problem with them, but they're just they're mean. But I freaking love salamanders, iguanas, just all those. I love them. Love them. I've wanted an iguana forever. But I don't think Gitana would have it. I don't think she'd like that, but freaking love them. And there used to be these little lizards that used to live where I used to live, and I'd have to protect them all the time from my cats because they'd like to hunt them and eat them, which is horrible to watch. But so cute.
He's worried about there not being a lid on, and he said, I went, what are we worried about? He said, wow. He said it sits there for 24 hours a day, obviously planning to get out.
I'm sorry, I got lost.
And he's worried about there's not banned. I think we could publish that.
Yeah.
He said one today, he saw my, salamander. It's not a euphemism. He saw my salamander and it's just sitting there in the tank.
Your exotic pet.
Yeah, and he's worried about there's not being a lid on, and he said, I went, what are we worried about? He said, wow. He said it sits there for 24 hours a day.
Sure.
Obviously planning to get out.
Well, it's got nothing else on its mind, and it's the daft thing is, he has actually got the lid ripped up a little bit. It's got nothing else to think about. And it'll be looking up there, and it's going to get out.
But what's the worst that could happen?
What's it thinking? What do you think it's thinking, this salamander?
It's got its eye on the DVD player. I can have Ian be down the market.
Well...
Oh, God.
Are they dangerous?
Could I just say something?
Are they dangerous?
Wait, okay, see, but if you do, this is one of those things where he does have kind of a point. If you go deeper down into, his thought process and realize that animals and things shouldn't be confined to a cage or a jar or an enclosure or whatever you want to call it, that, I'm with him on that. Zoos and... anything that is just for human entertainment, to have anything in a jar or in a whatever, just to be able to look at it because you like it, is messed up. Sanctuaries where they rescued animals because, I don't know, a hippo had his ankle torn off by a tiger and it's three-legged and can't live in the wild alone, and they take care of it, and give it some watermelons, keep it happy, make it a peg leg, that, okay, yes, I'm with you on that. I like that. I support that. I can donate to that. That's all good. But zoos and stuff? No. No. Not at all. And having pets inside your house, like cats, for example, having them inside your house, because if they'd be on the street, they'd get run over, or they'd die, or they'd fight, or they wouldn't, live. Obviously, I'm cool with that too. It's quality of life, right? So putting a salamander in a fish tank or a salamander tank or whatever you want to call it, and that's it. Like, I know from our human point of view, which we have so much to do and so many places to go and so many people to meet, you say, oh, what kind of life can he have if he's free? His own, all right? If he's free and he wants to sit in the same tree for 5 years, that's fine. That's his choice. But at least he's free to have that choice. All right?
I think the salamander's thinking exactly the same things as you. I mean, to look at you, you've got the same expression on your face. You know what I mean? You're dressed in green as well. You've got a little round sort of Hamburglar type head, like the salamander. Very similar. And yet I think you bonded with it, didn't you?
Yeah, but I probably would have tried to get out, but my little paper round bag would just hang on the corner.
Yeah.
Listen, can we have more nepotism on the show? I know that we did that earlier with the teacher
We haven't got long,
soundtrack.
have we?
We haven't. My housemate, you remember I was working out with him last week to Helen from Big Brother's dancercise video?
That's just frightening.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
we've kind of let that slip a little bit, I've got to be honest. But anyway, he's joined this band. They're called Fujiya and Miyagi. Slightly difficult to pronounce. But anyway, this is a track that I think's been getting some play by Nick Luscombe and John Kennedy on XFM. They got a gig this week at the Pool on Curtin Road. That's 18th of April, Thursday.
I love how, since he knows him, he didn't do the whole welcome to the stage, because that's a terrible name. I like how he kind of gave it a little. But that's a terrible name.
Let's play it.
Can I just say I've got a fridge freezer for sale, 400 quid or nearest offer.
Fujiya and Miyagi performing live Thursday the 18th of April at the Pool on Curtin Road. Admission is free, Rick, so I imagine you'll be heading down there.
Yeah, I will. Well, I've enjoyed this show.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
I have
Great.
to.
It's been great.
Awesome.
Carl, any more? Oh, tell that story that you were telling me about your dad when he was...
Dude, but we're missing cake near-death experience. And I think another one that they mentioned and it didn't come to like a full story. We're missing stories.
Well, it's just that you were talking about, well, I mentioned Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And the Forrest Gump types. When my dad was when he was a taxi driver.
Yeah.
You used to have to sort of do your bit for the local area.
Oh, God.
By taking the Forrest Gump people to Blackpool.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called now, the Forrest Gump people? Is that what the organisations that support them ask for them to be referred to?
A minibus with
exactly.
life is a box of chocolates.
Exactly.
.com.
Well,
Forrest Gump types.
It must be. So you work with these people.
It was yeah,
the people with learning difficulties.
Yeah, and they used to get 5.
Coming home must have been a busman's holiday.
So he got 5 of them in the cab.
Yeah.
And they had to go to Blackpool, and 4 of them were really good, behaving themselves, didn't mess about, weren't fighting and stuff, but there was one who was just causing loads of trouble and they couldn't control him.
Oh,
and what you've got to be able to do with people like that, you don't want them to get stressed out because it's not good for them. It stresses them out, and you could end up with a bit...
Thanks, Dr. Carl.
You could end up with a bit of a riot on your hands. Bit of a riot. Could end up with a bit...
Thanks, Dr. Carl.
You could end up with a bit of a riot on your hands. So he thought, I'll nip this one in the bud right now. And he pulled up just on the outskirts of Blackpool, and he took the one out that was causing problems and put it in a wheelie bin.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologise.
He did what?
Oh,
He did it for the good of the others. He put it in a wheelie bin. It was having a good time. He thought it was one of the rides.
Can you stop saying it?
Him.
Yeah.
He was having a good time, and once he calmed down, my dad went back and picked him up, and he was fine. He had a good
What,
day.
he left him in there the whole time the others were in Blackpool?
No, he left him there, not the whole day, probably about an hour and a half.
In a wheelie bin?
In a wheelie bin.
Why couldn't he get out?
Because, like, his arms were trapped on the thing. It's one of those...
What, he tied him up?
No, do you know, like, when... Because he was a big fella, and, like, he managed to get him in so his arms were down the side like that, so he was a bit trapped.
Wasn't he screaming and crying and stuff?
He was making a bit of noise, but... do you know what I mean?
What, you feel served him right?
Well, but anyway, I didn't really want to talk about it. He just brought it up because of Forrest Gump.
Did his family know about this? Is this the first time they'd have heard about this?
He didn't get asked to do it again. Because he had another problem similar to it where he had a little minibus, and it was his job to take a load of old women to the bingo hall, and it was miles away. And he took him there. There was no problem. About 10 old women in a minibus.
One of them was causing trouble, so he pulled over it.
I love that.
Everything's fine. He dropped him off. They had a lovely night. Yeah. Right, they had a lovely night. Won a bit of cash. Coming back, it's a bit of a late night, and they all started moaning at him, going, "I want to be dropped off here. Take me there. I want to be dropped off first. I've got to get up early. Blah blah. You know, my husband's expecting me. I'm already late. Take me here first. Take me there." And he just pulled up in the middle of nowhere, said, "Get out." And he made them get out, and they all called for taxis. They charged that company who was meant to be taking him home in the minibus, and he got the sack. But a similar sort of story. You can't be dealing with it when people don't sort of just calm down and, like, solve the situation. Yeah. They're just all like, "I want to be dropped off first, take me here first, take me..."
Yeah, so he acts like a madman.
First, take me here first, take me...
Yeah, so he acts like...
dropped off first, take me here first, take me...
Yeah, so he acts like a madman. Good.
Oh, that was
great. We've got a crack on, haven't we, really? We got...
Says so much. Yeah.
Yes, Nick Drake, a song for the ladies this week from the album Brighter Later, At the Time of a City Clock. That's
Goodbye.
it. Yeah,
Goodbye.
See you next time.
Bye.
This was awesome. Thank you, Rusty. You're so cute. That was awesome. This was such a good episode. I loved it. It was so just Karl based, and that made it so good. That was just... I mean, it really, I'm missing stories here. There was things and stuff he mentioned that they said, all right, we'll talk about this later, and then they didn't. And I'm so curious. Oh, boy. That was great. That was awesome. I absolutely loved it. And the pictures are so spot on. I love it. This is so entertaining. So thank you so much, everybody watching. You guys are awesome. I really hope you liked it. I mean, how can you not? Karl is just too friggin' fun. And the other guys they're good too. They're fun too. Oh, man. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am off. Thank you for everything. Oh, I think I need to stretch my legs, man. I've been sitting for a long time. Anyway, whatever you're off to do, I hope you have a fantastic time, a wonderful one, whatever it is. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be around. Thanks, and see ya. Toodles.